Waseda is regarded as one of the nation's most prestigious international universities. Within their mission statement, they emphasize fostering good citizens and cultivating people of character who can respect individuality, develop themselves and their families, benefit the nation and society, and be active in the world at large.
The school's vision is portrayed in various forms. However, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement in carrying out the school. In this video, we brainstorm several issues we have witnessed within the school system and interviewed a couple of students from different educational backgrounds to receive additional insight.
Hello, my name is Katie.
Hello, my name is Hannah.
And we will be discussing the deficiencies that Waseda has in its effort to raise global citizens.
And to provide more hypothetical solutions in order to promote the concept of global citizenship more.
Issues within Waseda related to global citizenship. Waseda University could primarily improve its incorporation of global citizenship education in 3 categories within its courses, opportunities, and support.
Firstly, for the courses that are provided within Waseda, we believe that the school overall has little to no classes that actively teach about the values of global citizenship. The majority of students graduate without a basic understanding of what global citizenship is, and they miss out on the chance to develop their global citizenship identity before they set out into the adult world.
Secondly, for the opportunities that Waseda gives to its students, we observed how there is a lack of opportunities for both Japanese and international students to engage in learning about global citizenship. The language barrier may be preventing people from participating in resourceful events, and there seemingly are more events or opportunities for Japanese students compared to international students.
Lastly, for the support that Waseda supplies to its student body, there is a tendency for international students to not have access to help compared to Japanese students. For instance, it is understandable for Japanese to be the main language since Waseda is located in Japan, but considering its large international student population, more effort could be placed into language inclusivity. A lot of the time, international students are unaware of where to access the information they need.
During our interviews, we will touch upon these subjects and hear their own thoughts and personal experiences.
For our 3 interviewees, we chose people from different educational backgrounds.
The first interviewee is Kyoko, a student who was raised in Japan under the Japanese educational system.
The second interviewee is Sake, a student who was raised in Japan but went to an international school.
The third interviewee is Lindsay, a student who has spent the majority of their education overseas.
Question 1. Do you think that Waseda provides a sufficient amount of courses based on global citizenship?
I know some courses talking about global citizenship are open for every Waseda student. I don't think Waseda has sufficient amount of class about global citizenship.
Right.
But I feel like Waseda is still making some efforts. Then I came to sales. I started to realize that lots of people have different backgrounds, which brings diversity. And I made me reconsider my identity. I feel like although Waseda doesn't really have enough courses yet, it has a diverse student body with so much potential.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that Waseda provides a certain amount of courses which are kind of linked to global citizenship. For example, APM program, which is the Area Studies and Plurilingual / Multicultural Education. There's no general courses that summarize everything as a whole. If there was a model UN, if it was a course, then I think that would be pretty interesting. You have your knowledge in being a global citizen because you know how other countries would react and so on. So
yeah, I think that there is a sufficient amount of different courses fall under that category, like the religion courses, the philosophy courses, the cultural international relations type courses. All of those to me fall under the category of global citizenship courses. Maybe there is a sufficient amount of courses, or there's more courses than what I'm able to access, but my access is limited. Someone like me who doesn't speak a lot of Japanese, I can't take a lot of the GEC classes, so I'm really limited to what SILS provides. You could say that the other way around too, but as far as the courses provided and stuff, still a good amount of courses regardless of what your language is, I think.
Question 2. Do you think that Waseda provides a fair amount of opportunities for activities and events where any students, regardless of their language, is welcome to join?
Yes and no. Some events are held in like both Japanese and English, but some were like without English translation. I wouldn't say that there's equal opportunity for international students, and also like it's not really about events or activities. It's about like GC courses, and they have like environmental studies and other important studies too.
Right.
But they're only like taught in Japanese.
Right.
So, and I feel like that's the problem. There's this like language barrier, right?
Right.
So they're welcoming to join the course, but not welcoming to like actively participate in the class.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I didn't know about Waseda until last year. I didn't really know about W Space. There's a lot of things, opportunities that just fly past you. But most of the clubs you do require some level of Japanese. If you just know English, you may feel excluded. As an English speaking like student leader in a club, then it'd be much easier. Study abroad. Whatever support that Waseda provides, I think they have a lot more support for SP1 students, for SILs. As a SP2 student, like you're not required to go study abroad. So when I was planning to go study abroad, I kind of felt like I had to do a lot of the work on myself.
Yeah, I feel like I get lots of emails and lots of messages about events that are centered around speaking Japanese. Although I do feel like that the events are tend to be kind of underdeveloped and not very well supported, and that, you know, you show up to these events and like 2 other people show up and then people just leave because they get scared. I think there's opportunities for students. I mean, any student can really join anything, which is great. But at the same time, I feel like those opportunities are not well supported enough. They're not diverse enough.
Question 3. Do you think Waseda is providing a sufficient amount of support for its diverse international student body?
Not really, especially for international students, because there are so many sites or like platforms talking about the advice for Waseda students. Like Instagram posts, or there's no English translation. There's only written in Japanese. There's no way not no way, but it's really hard for them to understand it, right?
Yeah.
So in that way, they might feel like they're excluded. Like those Instagram accounts post about Waseda, but they're all in Japanese. See this one too? There's only limited translation, so obviously there's a language barrier.
So I would say like one of their like support, I guess, when it's like the staff themselves kind of expected, because it promotes diversity and all that, right? So I expected a lot of at least all the staff to know a basic level of English. Even the Japanese staff, if they have a basic conversational English, that'll make life a lot easier. A lot of emails they're in Japanese. Like even if there are English emails, if you like let's say for example internships, there's a lot of Japanese internships available, but you have to be like fluent in Japanese. If there's a lot of promotion for a lot of events and stuff that are in Japanese, any support that they have for the Kodo Center area, or it might be a struggle for international students to receive the same support because of the language barrier.
Maybe. I really appreciate, for example, that they keep in mind like LGBTQ plus students, like very outwardly show their support, you know. To me, that makes the space a lot more inviting. In that sense, like, yes, student diversity is very well supported. And I also feel like there's a lot of different support systems that I am aware are there, just I haven't participated in them yet or haven't really looked into them thoroughly yet. Like, because I mean, at least for our school, for SILs, I don't have trouble with the language barrier. They're pretty good about responding and stuff. I don't feel like I have that much trouble communicating with the school. You know, there are a lot of clubs that are not foreigner friendly, which often has to do with the language barrier. And that being said though, my options are extremely limited, and I just feel like there could be a little bit more options for people who perhaps don't speak Japanese or
Thanks to the interview's answers, we were able to develop several solutions for each category of the problems we discussed.
Hypothetical solutions to consider. After gathering the responses, we created hypothetical solutions that we believe Waseda should implement in order to achieve a better way of promoting global citizenship.
Firstly, Waseda could possibly provide compulsory classes focused on global citizenship to ensure that every student graduates from Waseda with basic knowledge of how to be a good global citizen. For those interested in learning more about the topic, a new cluster can be added to the 7 that already exist.
Secondly, it will be beneficial for students to have more opportunities to take courses where there is a high level of engagement between students, allowing them to put their learning into action. Especially in a faculty like sales, courses with no interactions defeats the purpose of having students from different backgrounds, where you can learn from others' perspective and broaden your view of the world.
Lastly, Waseda can provide more resources to support international students, whether it be sending informational emails in different languages or having more multilingual staff. Emphasizing language inclusivity will broaden the audience to international students. This can lead to increased participation in school activities, and sharing their experiences will cultivate their sense of belonging to a university and a community that is at first foreign to them.
We believe that if Waseda University wishes to follow through with its commitment to raising global citizens to a higher level, these hypothetical approaches can be a stepping stone to establishing a stronger foundation of global citizenship.
In conclusion, in this era of globalization, it is becoming increasingly important for human beings to acknowledge that citizenship does not just include one's status in their own country, but also relates to being a citizen on a global scale.
In order for everyone to coexist peacefully, there is a responsibility for global citizens to have the self-awareness that they are a citizen of the world and cultivate characteristics such as respecting diversity, caring about social justice, and participating in their local and national communities.
If students were to learn more about global citizenship through their education, their global citizen identity can be fostered at a young age.
This can lead to a strengthened determination to take initiative to make a change in the world.
Waseda University's highly internationalized environment is an enriching opportunity to develop one's global citizenship identity.
Through the implementation of global citizenship education through the school's courses, opportunities, and support system, Waseda will surely produce more global citizens who can contribute to the betterment of society as the years go on.
Thank you for watching!